Hi, we are going to do some acrylic pours. I don't know what color paints we're going to use. I have a pouring medium, which is 100 milliliters of Liquitex pouring medium, 200 milliliters of Mod Podge, 150 milliliters of Floetrol, and about 75 to 100 milliliters of water. So, I know I want Naples yellow, because that's just my new favorite. And I knew that I wanted turquoise. I did a big thing of turquoise. And phthalo blue. And then I'm going to do burnt sienna. And I'm going to do raw sienna. Now I'm tempted to add no. I don't know, I think I'm going to do the green. If it's not broken, just don't fix it. All right. Do that one. And I am going to do white. Well, I say that, but it's always like so hard to get the lid open. Okay. I'm going to add a little of GAC 800, which helps with the crazing or the cracking. And I could probably add that to my pouring medium, I just didn't. All right, and then I'm going to add pouring medium to each of the colors of paint. I'm going to move these other colors over here out of the way. And I've got water. I'm going to move this. Actually, I'm going to dump that water in that bucket. Okay, add pouring medium to the white. Put the pouring medium up. Before I forget, I'm going to put the silicone on my canvas so I cannot forget to add my silicone. Yeah, it feels like it's going to be the right consistency and not have to add a lot of water. That was my goal. Now, if I was using craft paints, it might be a little on the thin side. I knew there were some strings from the PVA. Yeah, that's not too bad. Excuse me. Did I see Aaron? Is Aaron here? Hi, Terry. Did I see that you had your grandkids all week? Did you? Got them back home? And this metallic turquoise is... I like these metallics. And this is a metallic green. Yeah, there's another. A little bit of... I knew when I was pouring the Mod Podge, I thought I had some. Now I may put a little more green in that because it feels a little thin, so I'm going to put some more paint to help thicken it up. Now these don't have silicone in them yet. I'm just trying to get them stirred. This is metallic also. This is the raw sienna. This is the metallic blue. It's a phthalo blue. It's pretty. It's got felt like there was a string of that one might be a little thick. We'll see in a minute. And then this is the burnt sienna. And I think I want to add, a little copper to this one here. So it'll be copper mixed in with the burnt sienna. I think it needs a little water. blue needs just a little bit of water too. And then white. Get rid of this. And I'm not going to add the silicone to the white. So at this time I'm going to add silicone to my paints. Green got in that. Got a little bit of green in this one, but I think it'll be okay. The white's a lot thinner. So let's get a pan. The other thing I thought about doing is some black, but I think I'll do that with the other one. And get a cup. So I'm going to start with the Naples yellow. Might be just a little bit thin. Okay. I'm going to add turquoise and then the blue. I'm going to give it a little blast in the cup. And the green. I'm going to add a little bit more of the Naples yellow. Raw sienna. And the burnt sienna. I think a little more green. And get just a little bit of the white in there. Okay. Remove those paints. There's still enough paint in there. We'll be able to do something else. Okay, let me get my drips off the table. Give that another blast. And I'm going to take my wristband off because last time that's one of the things I didn't do. Okay. And this is way more paint than I need, to be honest. So I think I may do have the other one ready. Okay. Let Let it sit for a few minutes. I did figure out, I think what I want to... Aaron, did you return your pencils? I agree with you. I didn't like them. I didn't return mine. Yeah, I'm going to hold one under... I'm going to hold this one over so that some of the runoff can go on here. I didn't like the Derwent pencils. And I've heard several people say they didn't like the tricolored pencils. All right. This may be too thin. I know it's a lot of paint. I need to make corner catchers. Okay, I'm going to set that one right there. And I'm going to work on this one a little bit too. Get some of the extra paint off my hands. The other thing I'm going to do, I am getting cells. It's before I forget, I'm going to take my rings off. Let me put them in a cup over here. Back behind me. All right, let's see if we can. I am getting cells. All right, what I'm going to do is, I've got just a little bit on the sides. That's not covered. Not much. It mostly covered. I'm just got these corners right here. Okay, and I am going to adjust my pouring medium because it's just too thin. Again, and I reduce the water. And I still think it's a little too on the thin. Well, maybe it was the white. The white's definitely too thin. And that may have been the problem, is the white. And I'm just kind of getting the sides while I still have paint. Just have the one side left. Like I said, I do have cells. Let's see. Put that in the water. And I'm going to set this one aside because there are cells on it. We'll see if they stay. Let's see. I'm tempted because I have paint. Tempted to just do a little pour, but no white. And pour some ribbons. A little shot of the juice there. Because I have plenty of paint here. Alright, and then I'm going to give it the rest of this cream here. I'm going to give it one simple little stir. Because I'm going to pour it. I'm going to get rid of that cup and stick. Hi, Vicki. Okay, so let's try. I'm gonna let that do its thing. Definitely plenty of paint. We are getting cells. Okay, let's turn that off. Let's see if we can't make a corner catcher real quick and see if that doesn't help. That's just piece cardboard with a bend in it. Okay. I don't know. It's just one more thing to hold in your hands. And I think I've lost my cell formations there. Again, I think it's too thin. Well, I can't say that that was one of my favorite things to use. Let me wipe my hands off. I don't think there's very much of interest here. That was good. I got paint on my good shirt. Guess it's no longer a good shirt. I know better than wearing something in here that is good. All right, let's try torching this again. Okay, I know the one thing I know I want to do. I want to try dimethicone instead of the silicone, I think, for one. All right, let's. The cardboard's pretty. Oh, I don't like the cardboard thing with the gallery. Maybe it'd be better without a gallery. I'm going to throw that away because it's going to get paint on something. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that little cup. Well, it's actually still got paint in it. All right, let's try something real quick. It has some cells, and it's more color on color. Okay, let's try adding. Last time I added Elmer's. I don't have any Elmer's, but I have more Mod Podge. Let's try adding. Yeah, I've tried that too. It has nothing to do with the aerosol. Jean, that's just because she doesn't like the smell. I've tried that too. And I've also bought liquid silicone. I just think I want. No, it's pure. That's not, because there are other people besides Anne Marie that get plenty of cells that spray it directly from the can. It's too thin. My mixture's still too thin, is the biggest part of the problem. So I added more PVA, which is what I ended up doing last time. So let's see if that thickens that up enough to not be so thin. I know my white's way too thin, but we can fix that. Okay, so let's try some different colors. I have still a few of those colors. All right, let's try some of this white in its pure form. And we'll add it. It's a little thicker. Let's see if I can open the bottle. There we go. You can see how much thicker that white is. Because I want to do a negative. So we'll add that. To that a little at a time. Get a much thicker white. Still use that thin white for the negative pour. I think it'll be okay. Okay. Let's do metallic red. PBO orange yellow. PBO red blue. This one's almost gone. Let's do a gold. And then we'll throw in some of that here and there. And I'm going to do a 8x10 canvas. Got the canvas out. Get rid of the plastic. All this extra. I may have to pour over that one. Because it's really, I think, going to lose its cells. We'll see. Right there. I'm doing about 1 part to 1 part. Okay. And then some GAC 800, which I'm going to run out of. That's got green on the end. That's the one thing you get a little bit of color somewhere. You know, like I've got drops here. We get a little color in one area, and it's quite messy. Okay, this is the metallic red, and this is the pink with the blue mica in it. Trying to make sure there's enough of a difference. There is. I need to learn to stir my other hand. Well, that thickened it up a bit because I think I have to add some water to them possibly. And I want black. That's the color I don't have that I want. All right. I'll add black to that. And this is lamp black. By Americana. And add a little GAC to this. Okay. Add just a little bit of water. And all of these are metallic except for the white and yeah, that's it. Except for the white and the black. All of these are metallics or iridescent. Okay. So we need a glass. Actually, I'm going to use not this glass. I'm going to use 2 glasses because I want to do a negative space. I also need to add the push pins to this 8x10. If I can find them. My dream is to have a studio with a sink, because it would be so much better. Because sometimes your hands get sticky with this. I'm going to hammer these in. Just to give us a little leverage under the canvas. That's in a tray. It's not a great tray, but it's in a tray. Let's start this one. So we're gonna almost thickened up. I haven't added any silicone yet. I better do that. So I'm going to add just a little bit of silicone to all the colors, except for the black. Give them all just a little bit of a stir. Not much. Alright, so let's put white in both cups. And let's put the red. And then I'll put some gold. And then I'll put some of the orange yellow. And I'll put a little bit more white. This is a little on the thicker side, but and the pink. All right. Move those. Get the tray. Alright, and I'm going to give them one little stir and flip. Definitely a lot thicker this time. I'm going to let those sit for a minute, and I'm going to put black between them and around them. As we'll see. When we get there, get rid of that cup stick. Okay. It's definitely a lot thicker. That's that seems to be my issue, is the thickness of the paint. Okay, let's try a corner catcher with this. You really have to pay attention to what you're doing. I just dumped paint down in my lap. Let me get that real quick. Okay. Okay. Let me trying to get some paint on the sides here. Most of it's covered. I just had a few spots that were not. Okay. Okay. Got all the sides covered. Let me wipe my Hands off. We'll look at what we got. With the torch, we'll see if we get anything in these pink areas. I don't dislike it. Not really getting any cells. But I do like it. Yeah, like some ribbons. Okay, let's try mixing more paint in a cup. It's really thick, so I got to be careful about not putting too much more paint. Okay, I just scrape that. I want to scrape that a little bit. I don't think this is for me. There's too many things to control, let alone the. I didn't think it helped me make less mess. Okay, so let's try getting a cup. Okay. I'm adding some water so I can get a little bit thinner consistency. So there's some pink. Some white. Definitely some of this gold. Okay. And I know this sounds crazy, but I think I might put a little of this turquoise in there. definitely getting cells in this little cup. Okay. I don't know. Let's see what we got here. I hate picking it up. You know what? Let's. Now all I need is stars. Alright, let's try swiping. I don't like what I have anyway, so. We need to let some of this run off and down. Okay, let's run the other way now. I'm getting a lot of the extra paint off because if it's too thick, it'll just crack. Okay, maybe if we torch that, maybe we'll get some. If we don't like it, just call it a day and start over. Let's try torching that and seeing what we get. Okay, the only thing I can see is, let me get rid of that for a minute. Let me turn this around. I think it's too thick still. There's a little area that I think is still way too thick right here. No. Too much black. Okay. Let's try a little. The turquoise. I keep uncovering black, which is what I don't like. Maybe that's not so bad. And then let's torch it. And let's get it to run off just a little bit. And down. I don't know. I kind of like it. I'm afraid it's too thick. But let's let it dry and see what happens. Hi, Monique. So, I mean, I like the bright pink and blue. I mean, it's not my colors, but if it'll dry like that, I don't dislike it. I'm afraid it'll crack. I can go to 6:30 without a problem. Okay. I'm about done, Eileen, probably. We can maybe do one more with leftover paint. And literally, it's going to be leftover paint. Okay. So we'll use this cup even that's left over. All right, let's take and add the gold to the, I'm just going to try to empty some cups. All right, so what I did was I put the gold in the raw sienna. And I'm going to put the burnt sienna in that color. Mix that up. Then let's take and put our oranges and reds together. Pinks, all that. Get rid of that cup. Let's get this pink in with the orange. Let's get rid of those cups. Mix that all together. It's a pretty pink color. Okay. And let's add some of that white to this white. Okay, add some water to that. We'll do the other. All right, there's the blue. Let's add this green to this blue. Okay, that's pretty. And I got a little bit of turquoise. I'm going to add to that. So we're just going to get a couple colors. Yeah, I don't want any black. Done with the black. Put white in the mix. I'm going to add this pinky red color. And then this golden color. And white again. And then the blue. And the gold. See? I'll save some of that. Some of the white that's left. That white's too thick. It needs to be thinned, but. Alright, so there's a cup of paint. We need a. We'll have to use a lid. And we need a canvas. Probably way more paint than we need. And I don't have pins in it. pens. If you think of it, this kind of just primary colors basically. It's a red, a blue, and a golden color. White. So we shall see. We are getting a lot of cells in the cup. Flip it. Let's add some of the extra paint, just like to the edges. That cup, I got quite the little cup collection here. And let's add some of this pink. Most of this should fall off. Rid of that. Yeah, the cells were good in the cup. All right, and then get some white. More paint on my pants. Well, these are definitely paint clothes now. All right. Plenty of paint. Try to get my sides a little bit. Okay. I don't really want to tilt all this off the edge that I have here, so. Okay, the sides are all covered. Let's torch it. This is going to be the best one of the night, probably. Okay, I really, really, really like this. I wonder if I tilt this way. Make those a little bigger. Hi, Ange. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone before I ruin it. Who hates purple? Oh, the people with the sinkhole, that was pretty bad. Looked like they had most of their furniture out of the house. Okay, I don't really want to move this one a whole lot. I have some white paint left that's real thick. I'm just going to put it back in the jar with the other white paint because it's just white paint. I don't even think there's any silicone in this one. And that'll help thicken that in the jar up because it's what's in the jar is a little too thin. Right, I'm going to attempt to move this one. Yes, I'm ready, Ange. I'm just going to show everybody kind of where we're at with what we got. Okay, so the first one is here. Still think the paint was too thin. And I think there's some globs on it. I don't think there's any more cells that are going to come up than what we have. But I have a really strong feeling that there's a paint glob in here. In a couple of places. That kind of fix. I said there was a couple places on it that looks like, but it's real thin on the sides, so we'll see how it dries. And then this one, which has cells, but again, it's so thin that they're kind of falling apart. But there are some cells, and it's a very pretty color, so it'll be a very pretty background for something added to it. And then there's this one that was a hot mess that we swiped, and it's definitely got lacing and cells, and I think I like it. In the end, I'm hoping it doesn't crack when it dries. And I'm not sure I'm going to put these videos on YouTube or not. But it's just about getting the right consistency of paint, which is where my struggle lies. Yeah, Aaron, the first one. Yeah, I had to make new pouring medium, CB. This one? Somebody will like this one because it's all metallic-y. So I don't know which one is weird. The last one is the one that turned out good. So let me stop recording.